Hello, everyone. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. I don't have my sample out here. Woo! I literally just got done eating pizza and I came running down here to do my live. So I wasn't quite ready. So today we are going to make this fun fold card. So much fun. It's a fun fold that I have never done before. So look at this. Isn't that fun? So much fun. So this is the one we're going to be making today, but I also made another one just to show you what it looks like with something else. This one is using the Delightful Wishes, the Delightful Wishes suite. Look at this. Love it. Sending warm wishes. That's actually from the Notes and Totes bundle, the sentiment, but these the paper and the flowers are from the Delightful Wishes. So how is everybody doing today? I'm going to share it to the group real quick. I was waiting for my computer to turn on. And while I'm waiting, tell me what you are doing today. Okay, I shared it to the group. So we are just about ready. So when you come on, say hello so that I know that you're here. If you're watching the replay, say hashtag replay. So I know that you watched the replay. I need to take a drink here. Sorry, because I just ate that pizza. So what is going on today? What did I do today? Well, I recorded 2 videos for YouTube, and I recorded 3 videos for TikTok and Instagram. And then I watched the last 2 episodes of Department Q. I'm going to talk about that in a minute when I see somebody's on, because I need to talk to somebody about this. So that's what I did. Basically, crafting and recording. I'm trying to catch up, or trying to get ahead, actually, because I'm going on vacation. So next week, I'll be in Ohio. I will be doing the live, but I'll be in Ohio. And then the week after that, I'll be in England. So I'm trying to, I have a lot of travel. Starting on Thursday, I'm going to be gone for basically a month. So I'm trying to just catch up and record some things to get ahead. Hi, Diana. Okay, so while we are waiting a minute, I wanted to talk about a couple things, a couple of the specials that are going on. First is this suite, the suite special. So right now, all of the product suites and all of the product suite products, so not just the whole suite, but any of the products that are in the suites, are buy one, get one 50% off. This is an amazing deal. I purchased 2 of the suites from the new catalog. So here are the suites that are participating. Floral Impressions, Celebratory Sips, which this is the suite that I'm working on today. Florals in Bloom, Turtly Cute, Beautiful Gallery. I have this one, and I'm going to, when I get back from England, start working on those. This is the suite that I bought, Kintsugi Inspirations. So this is the one I bought. And then I bought Boho Vibes. So I got that free. So I bought, not free, 50% off. Buy one, get one 50% off. These are the two that I purchased. So you can look forward to those. I purchased the whole suite because that is sort of the best deal. But you could purchase any of the products in here. Like you could just buy the dies and buy two die sets that are part of a suite and get buy one, get one 50% off. But the best deal is like I bought, oh, look at this, currently unavailable. I guess I got mine just in time. I think these suites are going to be going very fast. So get in on the deal while you can. So I bought the whole suite for this one. And then the boho vibes. The boho vibes one is a little bit of a smaller suite. Let's see, can I go back? Is it letting me go back to the? Okay, it just keeps taking me. So let's go. There we go. And this is not what I wanted to touch. I want to wait till save on suites. Here we go. Okay, so like I said, I bought these two. So let's look at boho vibes. Boho vibes was a little bit cheaper because it's 6x6 paper. So I got the suite here. So I got this one 50% off. So it was $63.50. I got it for, 31.75 or whatever that is for the whole suite. I'm so excited about that. But like I said, if you just bought the stamp set, like this stamp set and then the stamp set from the Kintsugi, you can do that. You buy one, get one 50% off. But the one thing you have to watch out for is that it is the lowest priced items. So for instance, if I purchased say I purchased those two suites, the full suite, right? And then I went and wanted the say stamp set from the let's find one from the beautiful gallery. Say I wanted to get this stamp set. Um, and that is, let's see how much a stamp set is here. Say I wanted, well, that's the bundle, but okay, say I just wanted to get this stamp set, $19. So I bought the two suites, Kintsugi suite, the boho vibe suite, and then I wanted to get this stamp set. Well, this stamp set would be the one that was 50% off. I would get this for $10, right? Because it's 50% off. So it's the cheapest items. So you want to make sure that when you're purchasing, you either are purchasing two full suites or in multiples of two, or purchasing, like two paper packs or two paper packs and two stamp sets. Okay. Because then the prices are comparable and you get the 50% off of the cheaper one. I hope that makes sense. Like if you purchased the Kintsugi suite was, I don't know, $72, say, and then the boho vibes was $63. And then I bought, say I just bought those two, which is what I did. I got the one for $32 basically. So I saved $32. But if I had bought the Kintsugi suite at $73 and the boho vibes at $63, and then I bought, say, these two items, I would only be saving $10 with this one and $6 with this one. So I'd only save $16. Okay, so if you do want to order some of the products from the suite, I would maybe purchase it separately from if you're purchasing the full suite, right? Because you want to purchase those two full suites and get the half off of the full suite, which is what I did. If you're buying individual pieces, like you only want, the stamp set from this one and then the stamp set from another one, buy those in a separate order so that you get 50% off of the cheaper item. So it's just a little strategy. I hope that that makes sense. Hi, Julie. Hi, Mom. I wasn't paying attention to who was logging on. So, okay. So that's the one thing. And then the other thing I wanted to remind you about is the virtual album retreat. I think there is still some available because it still popped up. Okay, here we go. Let's click on this. Remember the virtual album retreat, um, you can purchase it now. The actual virtual days are July 16th through 18th. So it's 3 days from 2 to 10:30 Mountain Time. So here it's 3 to 11:30. And they will be recorded, so you can go back and watch them. Apparently, all of the um, projects are going to be on their own video. So you can, like, if you missed, say, the March layout or whatever, you can just go and watch the March layout. You don't have to scroll, you know, search through the whole video. So the virtual album retreat, you get the whole kit. You get 12 months. It's called month by month. So you get January, February, March, and so on. They're 2-page layouts for each month. And they're all pre-cut and they come like this. So all you have to do is assemble. There's some punch outs and there's an exclusive stamp set. There's flip flaps. So it's a really good deal. If you like to scrapbook but want everything done for you, this is a great deal. If you like to scrapbook but don't have time, this is a great deal for you because everything's pre-designed and you can just put it together. This is perfect for new moms for baby's first year. It's perfect for the first year of like marriage. It's just perfect for your yearly album, right? If you just want to make an album of the year. Okay, so um let me see, purchase the kit. I want to make sure that it's still available yeah, so you could still add to cart. Okay, so here's the layout. You can look. I did post um a Facebook post and Instagram post where I showed most of the layouts. I was limited to 10, so there are a couple that I didn't post. But and the one thing about this is every page has special techniques, so you learn a whole bunch of new techniques. They showed some in the demonstrator like preview, and I was trying to think about one of these. Oh, I don't know which one it was. It was interactive and it was like crazy interactive. I was thinking it was November, but things come out, flip open. There was all kinds of things. It was really, really neat. Maybe it was the September one. But so those are the two things I kind of wanted to tell you about. Okay. Any questions about the album retreat or about the product sale? The suite sale goes on through the end of the month. So it's buy one, get one 50% off. And it's anything that's a product suite. So anything that's like just a stamp set, like for instance, remember in the old catalog, there was like a hamburger set. It was just a stamp set. I mean, it might have had dies with it, but it was just a bundle. There was no paper and all of that that was related to it. Those are not included. It's anything that's in any of the suites. So the suites have got the paper and the stamps and the dies and the embellishments. Okay. Okay. So let's get started on our project. So, like I was showing uh, earlier, um, these are the cards that we're going to be making. It's a fun fold that I've never made before these. So look at this. This is really fun. So when they say fun fold, this really is a fun fold. So this is the one we're going to be making today using the Celebratory Sips. And then I made this one today. I wanted to practice and then I filmed it. I just wanted to show you what it looks like with different papers. This is the Delightful Wishes suite. So the sentiment is from Notes and Totes. So isn't that cute? So it's really easy. And I wanted to show this suite. That's why I'm featuring this. Keep in mind when you're picking papers to do this is you want something that has really different design, like contrasting designs on the front and the back. This one is contrasting, although not a huge amount. So I've got the pale yellow and then the blue with the big flowers. I thought it was enough contrasting. This one you could see it's got the green like dashes and then the floral. Okay, so as you're picking paper, you want to think about that. So here is that paper, the front and then the back. So this is a paper that I use, but I want to show you some of the other paper. And we are going to be using some of this next week because I'm doing a layout next week. And this one, well, you can see this one. You can see I cut out a lot of them. This is fun paper. And then the back is this strawberry slush polka dot. This one, you can fussy cut out or die cut out these fun drinks. The ones that have like the umbrellas and that you need to fussy cut. Some of the like these ones I think, and these ones you can die cut. And then the back is like this Blackberry Bliss. This is a fun one. So I'm showing you all the pieces that I cut out, but I use these to make those. So you can see this one came, this one's from here, and then this one is from here. But you can use it as whole paper too. And the back is this pretty stars. I think this actually would maybe be good for Christmas. Okay, so these are the full sheets. So full sheets. Well, this one isn't quite full, but um that one. I love the like sangria. This is nice. This one is just all of the garnishes. And those, I love maraschino cherries. Who loves maraschino cherries? Drop a I love maraschino cherries or yes or something if you love maraschino cherries. And yes, I do know how they are made. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes you just can't help it. Okay, I think that's all of the paper. I showed a video to my students. It was about consumption and resource use. And they showed some like products that were really intensive use of resources. And in that video was how they make maraschino cherries. And I was just gutted when I was watching this because I was like, oh, I love them so much. But okay, so that's what we are going to use today. I do have the stamp set also. And the dies. Look at the stamp set. I love the ice. And I've seen people use this ice, stamp it, and then color it with Wink of Stella, and it looks like ice, like it's glistening ice. They've got some of the garnishes, and then you have the drinks, the cups, and then some nice sentiments. And then you've got some dies to cut them out. This one is nice. It makes like a fancy glass, I would say like what they call it, a highball glass. So this is what we're going to use. Oh, Diana, you love them too? I know. And I won't tell you how they make them and why they're so resource intensive. Because it's kind of sad. But they taste so good. Okay, so let's get started making these. Who's going to craft along with me? It's very easy, and you really need very little paper. So this is something that you can make with, I won't say scraps, because you do need a piece that's like 5 1/4 by 12. But that's basically all you need besides a little bit of cardstock. Okay, so let's do all of our cutting first. Okay, so let me check Instagram to see if anybody's on Instagram. All you need is a little bit of cardstock. Okay, so let's do all of our cutting. I set something on my computer and it turned the volume on. It's kind of like when Darcy jumps on my bed and turns the volume on or off. Okay, no comments on Instagram yet, so we're good. Okay, so let's make the base piece. So this is the base piece, and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you just need a piece of cardstock, and I'm using this old olive. And I'm going to cut it 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's see, where are we at? This is 5 1/2, so let's cut 4 1/4. And you do not, it doesn't have to be doubled. We're not folding it. Okay, so it's literally 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so that is the base. Okay, and then you need the designer series paper. So whichever paper that you are picking. So I'm going to use this. So I'll use the same one because I love how it's contrasting on both sides. So this is going to make a good card, a good card for this. Some other paper that looks very similar to the front and the back isn't going to make as great of a card. Okay. So the DSP, you want it to be 5 1/4 by 12. Okay, so I'm going to cut this 5 1/4 by 12. So you can make 2 cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock. Not cardstock, designer series paper. Okay, so we've got the base, we've got the designer series paper. You're going to need a piece of white or whatever for the inside. And I cut this 3 3/4 by 5. So let's see, 5 inches by 3 3/4. Okay. And then you're going to need the circles. And I used, this is a 3-inch circle. And then this is a 2 1/2 inch circle. So let's cut those out. Okay, while I'm cutting these out, I want to talk about the show department Q. Okay, so I'm going to make, this is going to be my mat. So this is going to be the 3-inch circle. And I'm using my close to my heart circle dies. The 3-inch circle is the biggest one. So, okay, so department Q. This show was so good. I streamed it in a like 2 or 3 days. I don't remember. It is so good. It's on Netflix. It is a crime, like a police drama. Okay, so this is my 3-inch circle. And then I'm going to cut a white 2 1/2 inch circle. So it's really, really good. The last episode, actually, my mom came running into my room because I screamed. She thought something was wrong. The last episode was intense. So if you are not into intense crime drama where there's some blood and things, that last episode might not be for you. But it is so it is so good. Uh, has anybody watched that? Let me know if you've seen it. It's kind of I'm gonna put this down for right now. It's kind of like a cross between House and the X-Files. without the supernatural stuff. It's cold cases. So they're not X files, they're cold cases. But the main guy is kind of like House, the medical drama. You haven't heard of it? Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's new. They just dropped it maybe this week or maybe at the beginning of June. I don't remember. Okay, so here's how we're gonna make the fun fold. This is a super easy card. That's why I'm taking some time, because you can do this one really, really quick. So I feel like I can talk a lot today because of it. Okay, so let's grab the designer series paper. The designer series paper. And we're going to score it at 2 inches, at 4 inches, at 8 inches, and at 10 inches. Okay. 2, 4, 8, and 10. So 2 inches and 4 inches from either end, basically. Something that I watched at Megan's on BritBox. She has BritBox, so I try to watch BritBox shows when I'm over there. After the kids went to sleep, when I was babysitting them, because I babysat them at their house for 2 days. I was at their house, so I watched. It's called I Jack Wright. It was like a will, I Jack Wright of Sound Mind and Body or whatever. That's what it was about. That was a good one too, but not on the level. I'd say that was like a 7. Department Q was like a 10. I wish they would come out with their next season like tomorrow. So I'm folding along these score lines just so that you can see them. And I'm not paying attention to the direction that I'm squaring right at the moment. Maybe I'll do it on this side because you can see them easier than on the floral side. Okay, so what you want to do here is measure down 2 inches from the top. So I'm going to line this up and measure down 2 inches and make a little tick mark here. Okay, and then over here, I'm going to make a little tick mark at 2 inches. And you kind of want to be pretty careful about it so that these things match up. You don't have to be like super exact, but the closer you are, the better. And I was actually thinking about, I don't think there's a way to fold them over so that you can make the mirror images. You have to do it this way. Okay, so I marked 2 inches down on both sides. And then what we're going to do is we are going to cut from the 2-inch mark here to the second fold line, to the 4-inch score line. Okay, not here, this one. Okay, so I'm going to put I don't know if you can see my little tick mark right there. I'm going to put the tick mark there in the trough of my cutter. And then I'm going to put the 4-inch score line in the trough of my cutter. Okay, so cut this out and then do the same thing on this side. So you're going to cut from the 2-inch mark down here to the 8-inch score line. Okay, so I'm going to put the score line in the trough of my cutter and then find there's the 2-inch mark there. And another thing you could do, if you wanted to make it as close as possible, you could maybe use this as a guide, but you are going to be using this, so don't throw it away or don't mess it up. Okay. So there we go. So it should look something like this. Okay. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut off these pointy bits um, of the piece that you cut off. So I'm going to cut right along the score line on both of these. Okay. And I think for me, the easiest way was just to line this up at the 2-inch mark and then cut. Right, because that's where we scored it. And then do the same thing here. I'm going to do it like this, put it up against the 2-inch, and then cut. But basically, we're cutting along that score line. Okay? Okay, we're doing pretty good. Any questions so far? So let me show you how this is. So this is what we've done so far. Okay, so now what you are going to do is we are going to take this piece here, the bigger piece of the part you cut off, and we are going to put it down here. And then we're going to take this piece and put it like this. Okay. Now, when you do this, it's really best if you have paper that is non-directional. Okay. And if it is directional, you want to pay attention. For instance, the way I cut it, my leaves are pointing down, which is not ideal, but it'll be okay. Actually, we might be able to turn it around and it'll look fine. But okay, so we're gonna put those onto here. These two pieces you can toss. So I'm going to adhere these down. And I found the easiest way is just to kind of line it up against this corner. It's the best way to line it up. Okay, and then do the same thing over here. And you want it to have the contrasting side up. Okay, so again, I'm going to line it up over here. Put the contrasting side up. Okay. And then what you want to do is, this is a time where you can make adjustments. If it doesn't fold over, like for instance, when I did this one, you know, they were really, really tight. So I kind of just went over the score line a little bit differently so that, you know, it matched up, because you don't want them to overlap. You just want it to be, you know, right together. So this is your time to adjust. Okay. Okay. And now's the time you could put this on the inside. If you prefer, you could stamp it first. But I'm just going to stamp it later. Okay. Okay, now you need a 20-inch piece of ribbon. I didn't have any ribbon that I thought matched well, so I had this twine that was from, I think, a paper pumpkin or some kit that I purchased, and I used that. On this one, I used this green thread, twine. It's the twine, but you can use ribbon. Like I said, I didn't have any that I thought looked really well, so I'll use this one. My other option was gold. So this isn't how you thought the card would be made? I know, that's why it's so interesting. This is why I had to make this one. Because you guys know I love a good fun fold. I might use the gold one. Since I already used the green, let's use the gold. But like I said, ribbon, people probably would use ribbon more than twine. But like I said, I didn't have any ribbon that I thought would look good. So you need 20 inches. So I'm going to cut it. Okay, and so what we're going to do is take the 20 inches of ribbon, put it under here, and then you can use tear and tape. I found that I've used all of my tear and tape, so I'm going to use score tape. You could probably adhesive it down. I don't know. And so you want it to be in the center of this middle part, right? And you want it to be even. So let me see. Okay. So you want it to be about here. So I would kind of put it like this and then flip it over so that you've got it kind of where you want it to be. And then I'm just going to put my score tape right on here. And I guess you could take this off, but we'll see. Okay. So that's going to secure it down. So it won't come out, right? It won't pull out at all because it's taped down. Okay, now take your backing. Remember, this piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's not in a fold. So we're going to put this on here. So I'm going to adhere this, put adhesive on the back here. And then I'm going to try and take the score tape off. I didn't take the score tape off on the other one, but I don't see why you can't. Okay, and then we are going to pop this down right on top of here and center it. Okay. There we go. There we go. So you can see how it opens up. I know it's kind of amazing how it turns out. Lesson learned though, this paper, I thought this would work because it's kind of an all over print, but it is directional in that it's just up and down. Okay, as opposed to let me see if I can find another all over print. None of this paper is gonna look good. I just have some sitting here. Like this one would be okay because there's no direction to it. Although these would be a little bit, I think the print is too big, but the directional, this doesn't have necessarily a direction. They're not just all pointing up. You know what I mean? So like this paper, this is not part of the celebratory sips, but see how that's all facing, it's all going one direction. If you do that, you're going to have the look like I did where the flowers, not the flowers, but the leaves are pointing the other way. Okay. Okay. So now let's do, this is the celebratory sips paper, but let's look at making the drinks. Okay. Let's make the drinks. And this is what I did. You can stamp this. Let's look at the stamp set. If I can find the stamp set. What did I do with the stamp set? Oh, here it is. Okay, you can stamp this. But the stamp is open. Okay, so it's not a solid color. So you stamp it, but then you'd have to color it in. Okay. So they generously made, let me find that paper. they made this paper so that you can use these to make drinks. So like you can see there's the taller ones, which you can make the tall drink, and then there's the more squat ones that you can make the lower drink. So on this paper, I chose the blue and the pink because that's the color of the flowers. So I'm going to use this one. I said blue, but I meant purple. I don't know why I said blue. I'm going to use this one. And then let's use, which one do we think? Let's use this one. No, I don't want to use this one because that'll probably cut this piece off. Well, I guess, let's see if I can cut it without, oh, I can do the top one. Now, you have to be okay with it being like, you know, not perfectly colored in, because like there is a little bit of white at the top and a little bit white at the bottom. So I'm going to use this stamp set. Let me get this one out of the way. I'm going to use this stamp, the more squat glass. And here it doesn't matter what color what kind of black ink you use, because you're not coloring it in with like alcohol markers. Okay, so I'm just going to use this black, intense black. Okay, and then stamp on here. Okay, nice. And then let's put this away. And use the bigger glass, the taller glass, the stamp. Okay, and let's do it on this purple one. So it's like wine, rosé, and I don't know. So now this is the one where you're gonna have to, I left the white kind of at the bottom because I feel like whenever you have a glass, sometimes the bottom looks clear because it's got a thick layer of glass at the bottom there. So that's why I kind of left it like this. Okay. Or you could move it up a little bit. The problem is there's not a lot of room to do that because of these things are, there's not a huge amount of room on either side. Okay, so then we can die cut these out. Let's see. So let's get the 2 die cuts. Okay, I might be able to do these both at the same time. Let's put the purple one down and then put the die on top. And then the pink one. And then the die on top of this. Or like I said, if you don't want to use the paper, you could stamp and die cut and then color them in if you want to. Yeah, you could make your own rectangles with watercolors. And you could use a block, like a stamping block, and, you know, color on it with your ink, and then, you know, use that as your block, or, you know, to make the block. Okay, here we go. Here's my drink. Doesn't it look good? Very good. Actually, that one drink looks so good. I could go for some of that right now. Okay. Next, I'm going to make the garnishes. Now you could use that garnish paper. Let me find that garnish paper. Okay. You could use the garnish paper and then cut out the rosemary and the I don't know, that's not like lavender petals or something, or what do you think that is? What do you think the purple stuff is? Um, I don't know, and I don't think that the dyes fit those, but I'm going to check. Does this dye fit in here? Oh, actually, it might. But you know what? I'm going to stamp it only because I don't want to cut this paper. So I'm going to stamp. Okay, so let's use the rosemary stamp. Okay. And I have, I'm using Fern because I thought it was closest to this color. Let's stamp that. You can use avocado also, or you can use the Stampin' Up color. I think there's, it's Old Olive. I don't have Old Olive, so I just use, to me, this looks fairly close to Old Olive, right? I don't know, it looks similar. Okay, and then um, let's do the lavender. Oh, that says cheers. I'm going to use that in a minute, but can anybody think of what kind of flowers that they put in your drinks? I don't buy drinks enough. Well, I only have one. I only drink one kind of drink, and that's the vodka and cranberry. Well, I guess vodka and orange juice, but okay. I'm going to use grape because I thought grape was very similar to that color. So I don't know what all these fancy things are. But Michelle, you would like this one. I know you're probably going to watch the replay, but you would like this one because you can make your Bloody Marys that you like, right? This got the celery. Or they've got cute olives here too. So I know that you like to go and get Bloody Marys, so this would be a perfect set for you. Okay, and then these are open. Let me see if you can see. They are open stamps a little bit. So I did color them in. So you could use Old Olive and Blackberry Bliss. I have, let's see, what is this one? This is, oh yeah, so I have the Old Olive green Stampin' Right marker because I bought the Regal Stampin' Rights. So I'm just going to kind of color these in a little bit. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm hoping I'm getting in the lines pretty good. Okay, let's see. And then I don't have Blackberry Bliss, but I have this. I found this one. It's called Bright Pink Shades Tri-Blend, and I felt like this one was a pretty good match. So if you have the Tri-Blends, the Bright Pink Shades is good. And then you just kind of go in here. But like I said, you could Looks like the dies do cut out the garnishes that are in the on that paper. Okay, so let's cut these out. I hope I left enough room between those two. Might not be able to run them through together. Okay. You could make like the little umbrella, you could put a cherry in the drink, and probably that the little like this one could be like a nice Shirley Temple. I could have put a cherry in there. But I want this to stick out kind of past the circle a little bit. So um okay, that looks pretty good. I'm not gonna use washi tape, so let's hope this stays good. Okay. Okay. So now we are ready to assemble our card, the design on our card. Let's get these, and then I'll get this out of our way. Okay. And one thing that I meant to talk about earlier that I forgot at the time, but I want to look, these two cards I made um, opposite, right? This one has got the flowers at the bottom and then the green in the center. This one's got the green in the center and the flowers on the bottom. And I wanted to show you that you could do it either way, just depending on how you folded this paper. Like I could have folded it the other way and it would have looked like this. And so if you've got directional paper like this, you probably want to do it this way. Because, there was no problem. That's why I didn't think about when I changed it to do the other direction that the leaves were going to be upside down, because it didn't do that on this one. But keep that in mind. So if you have directional paper, one direction paper, you can use it. Just make sure that that part is in the middle. Okay, then you won't have a problem. Okay, so let's put these together. So the white's going on the old olive green. And you could stamp on this if you want to or whatever. Like I said, I just am using the drinks. And then on this one, I just used the flowers and then stamped on the inside. But you could stamp. And I could have I thought about doing lots of love and then putting the flowers around the side, like going around, like hugging the edge. I thought about doing that, but I didn't. Okay, so now we're going to put this down on here. But you're only going to put adhesive on the one side. Don't put adhesive on both sides because then your card won't open up, right? So just put adhesive down one side. Okay. And I put it so that it kind of came right up. See how the top of my circle is right at where the two pieces come together and make this V. So let me make sure I got this oriented correctly. Okay. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, and I did not pop these up. You could if you wanted to. I didn't because I thought this might be, it's one, two, three, it's like 5 layers of cardstock. Um, so I didn't want to make it much more dimensional. So I'm going to add adhesive. I'm going to leave a little space at the top to slide in my rosemary there. Same thing with my little Shirley Temple or whatever this is. There we go. And then on these ones, you just want to put adhesive just at the very bottom because this part sticks out. So you don't want this to be, if you had adhesive on this, it would obviously stick to the card. So just put enough on the bottom to keep it in. Okay, so So put it like that. And then we'll do this one. We'll put it like that. You obviously can see these better with the green background than with the flower background, but it's pretty good. Okay, and then the last thing that we need is I did add dots here. These are Blackberry Bliss dots. And on here I did too. I added these like gold um gems there. So I did add some gems. Okay, and these are from they're called transparent adhesive back dots. I'm not even sure that these are still available. Since I've used the pattern paper on the bottom, I might put them up here. Here I put them there because you can really see them. Here I'm thinking about maybe doing like this, putting another small one. I think maybe there. I don't know. Let's put it here. We can think about that too, but I'm going to leave it like that for right now. Okay, and then just tie your ribbon. Oh, we got to stamp the inside. So on this one, I put cheers. I think I'm going to do that again. You could put cheers to you, cheers to us, cheers, it's your day, cheers, let's celebrate. I'm just going to put cheers, and then if I want to add like enjoy your day or let's celebrate or something like that, um, you can. I think I'm going to use the grape. I think I'm going to use the grape to stamp cheers. The one thing when you're stamping this, you want to make sure that you put it where it's going to be covered, which shouldn't be a problem, but just don't put it way up here where, this white part you can see through. So I'm going to put it kind of right here. And I think I'm going to, I'll say it, but if she's watching, I don't know. I might send this to you for your birthday, Michelle. Actually, I might make a new one and make the Bloody Marys. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, and then there's your card. Look how easy that was. I mean, that literally was really, really easy. And then we just tie it. And like I said, you can use the ribbon. I didn't have any good ribbon. I need to buy more ribbon. I don't have a lot because we didn't have ribbon really too much in Close to My Heart. There was once in a while there was ribbon. It was more shimmer trim. And I did look at the shimmer trim, but you can't use that because it's got the adhesive on the other side. So this is just to hold the gatefold closed. If you want, if you don't want to have the ribbon or twine, you could put something here to hold the gatefold part closed if you want. I think this is kind of cute. I like it with the twine. Okay, there you go. So easy. So I hope that if you make them, you post your samples because I really am interested to see what you do. Because like I said, you don't have to make it with the celebratory sips. I just thought that this would be really cute with the celebratory sips. And I've been wanting to make this fun fold for a while. So, and it's really easy. And like I said, it doesn't use a lot of paper. You just need that 5¼ inch sheet of designer series paper and then a little bit of cardstock. and some stamped images. Okay. Next week, guys, I am going to go live. I have to change my live time. I'm going to go live on Saturday night because we've decided to drive home from Ohio on Sunday night. So I'll be on the road and we can't leave until at least 5 o'clock because my dad's celebration of life goes from 12 to 5. So I have to be there from 12 to 5. And then to get home, it's gonna take 7 hours if we don't really dawdle. Um, so we're already not getting home at like 1 until like 1 a.m. at the best. And so I can't stop on the road or we can't wait till my live to do that. We originally were going to leave on Monday, but because of some circumstances, we decided to leave Sunday night. And so I'm going to do my live Saturday night, and I will post the update on um, in online. This card would work for a fun page in a junk journal. Okay, so my junk journal live, which will be in 3 weeks, I will try and see if I can make one of these. I might have to bring some paper with me. Not the whole thing, but this this part where you tie and open it up. I'll see if I can. I gotta think about that and see if I can bring some paper. But I am doing a travel junk journal. Oh God, I just bit my lip. How did I do that? Okay, so next week, like I said, I'm gonna do this Saturday night next week. And I'm going to be using the Celebratory Sips. And we are going to be making this scrapbook layout. So this is a fun layout. Um, kind of different, not my usual stuff. So, but this is the from the paper. This is all paper. Well, the only thing that I stamped was the cheers. Um, but all paper. Oh, this is from the celebratory. I think this is from Celebratory Sips also. I don't know. I'll look to see because I know I just like the orange there, but so this is what we're gonna make next week. Yes, I did post my pictures or the scrapbook layout that I did from last night. And of course, I found the dies immediately when I turned off the live. I found them. So I did add them. And I did cut them from the envelope. They weren't the dies that I thought. I was thinking that there was a die that had the tree that looks like this. And that's not what was in that. Yeah. The trees are really, really nice. I thought they would look more like this. I'm pretty sure there's dyes that are like that, and maybe I just didn't buy that one, but I knew that the scenic adventure had tree dyes, but they're these ones. So this is from last night. This is made from the paper pumpkin kit, the May paper pumpkin kit. Okay, so join me next week on Saturday night at 7 Central time. And we'll be making this. And this one, all you need is the paper pack from here. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me. I will see you next week, next Saturday, live from Ohio. where we're going to make that scrapbook layout. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you make these, please post it in the group so that I can, um, see, so we can all see what you create. Talk to you later. See you next week. Bye.